Hey friends, so this week marks the 125th anniversary of the murder of William Marsh Rice, who was the namesake and founder of the Rice Institute, which became Rice University in Houston. Pretty prominent university there. He was a famous eccentric. He was married to a couple of famously eccentric ladies with whom he had tumultuous marriages, one of whom died of, I don't know, insanity, I guess the historical record seems to imply. But anyway, he died by murder, and it turns out that it was the butler who did it. You see, William Marsh Rice went up to New York City. He was a very famous capitalist and philanthropist, had made a lot of money, some of which on the backs of slaves, which he owned back in Texas. He was not a part of the Confederacy. Exactly what he was doing during the war is a big question mark about the Civil War there, but his house was turned over to be used as a Confederate hospital during the war, and apparently he was in Matamoros for a while during the war. He was a Unionist, but he did own slaves. I think he was just a capitalist, as his primary biography seems to imply, which was written in the Rice Thresher, the newspaper of Rice University. The Thresher, the Rice Thresher, it's like a big machine you use to harvest rice. It's a cute name for a newspaper. Anyway, that's really the only big source we have on this story, but apparently he was up in New York City being eccentric and alone in his New York City apartment. His manservant, his valet or whatever, his butler, named Charles Jones, suffocated him with chloroform in the night, and he died. He wrote a telegram the next day to Rice's Houston lawyer, a guy named James A. Baker. Now, you might recognize the name James Baker. There's a pretty famous guy with that name right now. You might be thinking, wasn't he like Secretary of State, or wasn't he like Chief of Staff for Reagan, or maybe Chief of Staff for George H.W. Bush? And the answer is yes, he was those things. And maybe Treasury or Commerce Secretary or Undersecretary, something like that. Look it up. It's on Wikipedia. He's also a famous Houston lawyer and presidential advisor, and he is the grandson of the James A. Baker, who was William Marsh Rice's Houston lawyer, who received the telegram about Rice's death and said, that seems kind of strange. And then Rice's New York City lawyer, a guy named Patrick, no relation to any current politicians in Texas that I'm aware of, but this lawyer named Patrick said, oh yeah, it turns out Mr. Rice, he wrote this other will, like right before he died, and some of the money's for the Rice Institute, but all that money was supposed to go to like